You may remember hearing the news last summer that legendary Lions running back Barry Sanders had suffered a heart attack.
It was Father's Day of 2024. Sanders was on a recruiting trip with one of his sons when he felt a burning sensation in his chest.
Great. Barry Sanders came in at 1. Following Barry was Walter Payton.
What if I told you that the greatest running back in NFL history played for just 10 seasons, never won a Super Bowl, and retired at the peak of his career? Today, we're going to be diving into the mesmerizing world of Barry Sanders, a man who turned football into poetry in motion and left us all wanting more. Picture this. It's 1997, Thanksgiving Day at the Pontiac Silverdome. Barry Sanders takes a handoff, immediately cuts left, spins right, somehow defies gravity, and leaves 5 defenders grasping at air before gliding into the end zone. The crowd erupts, announcers lose their minds, and somewhere a physicist questions everything they know about momentum and physics. The making of magic. Barry Sanders wasn't supposed to be a superstar. At 5'8" and 200 pounds, he was considered undersized for the NFL. But what he lacked in stature, he made up for with the most electrifying running style the game has ever seen. Born in Wichita, Kansas in 1968, Sanders was the 7th of 11 children. His father, William, was a roofer who instilled an incredible work ethic in his son, a trait that would define Barry's entire career. At Oklahoma State, Sanders burst onto the national scene in 1988 with one of the most dominant single seasons in college football history. He rushed for 2,628 yards and 37 touchdowns in just 11 games, winning the Heisman Trophy in a landslide. But here's the thing. This wasn't just about numbers. Sanders ran like he was playing a completely different sport, turning what should have been routine tackles into highlight reel embarrassments for defenders. When the Detroit Lions selected Sanders 3rd overall in the 1989 NFL Draft, they weren't just getting a running back. They were getting a magician. From his very first game, it was clear that Sanders operated by his own set of physical laws. He could stop on a dime, change direction without losing speed, and somehow find running lanes that didn't exist until he created them. Sanders' rookie season was a preview of the greatness to come. He rushed for 1,470 yards and 14 touchdowns, earning NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year honors. But what made Sanders special wasn't just his production. It was how he made the impossible look routine. He'd take a handoff 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage, dance through a crowd of defenders, and somehow emerge with a 20-yard gain. What made Barry Sanders truly legendary was his unprecedented combination of vision, balance, and acceleration. He possessed an almost supernatural ability to read defenses and find the smallest creases in coverage. His signature move, the spin, became the stuff of legend. Sanders could spin 360 degrees while maintaining his speed and direction, leaving defenders dizzy and grasping at shadows. Former NFL linebacker Ray Lewis once said Barry Sanders was the only player who could make you miss in a phone booth. This wasn't hyperbole. Sanders' ability to change direction in impossibly tight spaces defied everything that coaches taught about leverage and tackling angles. The 1997 season stands as Sanders' masterpiece. At age 29, many running backs begin their decline. But Sanders rushed for 2,053 yards, only the 3rd player in NFL history to break the 2,000-yard barrier. He did this behind an offensive line that was average at best, with defenses keying in on him every single play. 8 defenders in the box? No problem. Sanders would find a way. During this historic season, Sanders averaged 6.1 yards per carry and scored 11 touchdowns. He became the first player to rush for over 1,500 yards in 5 consecutive seasons. But beyond the statistics, Sanders was putting on a weekly clinic in the art of running the football. Every Sunday, he'd do something that made veteran coaches shake their heads in amazement. Perhaps what made Sanders most endearing was his humility. In an era where touchdown celebrations were becoming increasingly elaborate, Sanders would simply hand the ball to the referee after scoring. His famous quote, "I want to be remembered as a guy who gave everything he had," perfectly captured his approach to the game. Sanders never blamed his teammates or coaching staff for the Lions' struggles. He showed up, did his job with unmatched excellence, and let his play speak for itself. He was the anti-diva superstar, a player who understood that individual brilliance meant nothing without team success. Then came July 28, 1999, a date that will forever live in NFL infamy. Barry Sanders, at age 31 and coming off 4 straight seasons of 1,500-plus rushing yards, announced his retirement via fax to his hometown newspaper. The football world was stunned. Sanders was just 1,457 yards away from breaking Walter Payton's all-time rushing record. Why did he retire? Sanders cited the Lions' lack of commitment to winning and his own diminishing enthusiasm for the game. He was tired of being the lone bright spot on consistently mediocre teams. "My desire to exit the game is greater than my desire to remain in it," he wrote in his retirement letter. Sanders' premature retirement sparked endless debate about what might have been. He finished with 15,269 rushing yards in just 10 seasons, an average of 1,527 yards per year. Had he played just 2 more seasons at his career average, he would have easily broken Peyton's record and likely finished with over 18,000 rushing yards. But perhaps the most intriguing what-if involves team success. Sanders played on just one playoff team during his entire career, the 1991 Lions, who won their first playoff game in over 30 years. Imagine Sanders on a team like the 1990s Cowboys or Packers. Could he have been the missing piece to multiple Super Bowl championships? Barry Sanders retired as the NFL's second leading rusher, but his impact transcended statistics. He changed how we think about the running back position. Sanders proved that power wasn't everything, that creativity, vision, and pure football instinct could be just as devastating as size and strength. Modern running backs still study Sanders' film, trying to unlock the secrets of his elusiveness. Players like LaShawn McCoy, Alvin Kamara, and Christian McCaffrey all show flashes of Sanders' style, but none have captured his unique combination of balance, acceleration, and pure magic. Barry Sanders played football like it was an art form, turning every carry into a potential masterpiece. He gave us 10 seasons of pure magic, leaving us with highlights that still defy explanation, and a legacy that grows stronger with each passing year. He may not have won a Super Bowl, and he may have retired before breaking every record in sight, but Barry Sanders accomplished something even greater. He reminded us all why we fell in love with football in the first place. In a sport obsessed with numbers and championships, Sanders showed us that sometimes the most beautiful thing about competition is the artistry itself. He was, and remains, the most elusive legend the game has ever seen. Now, what's your favorite Barry Sanders highlight? Drop it in the comments down below. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into sports legends who changed the game forever.